Hello, my name is Darren Melendi, and this is my digital storybook about my 2011 trip to Philmont High Adventure Base.
You've arrived at Philmont Scout Ranch. The ranch covers 137,000 acres, about 214 square miles of rugged mountain wilderness in the Sangre de Cristo range of the Rocky Mountains in northern New Mexico. Abundant wildlife roam freely at Philmont. Deer, elk, coyote, antelope, mountain lion, buffalo, beaver, wild turkey, bear, and others all live on the land here. The hills and canyons teem with birds, and the streams abound with fish.
The natural beauty of Philmont includes the soaring Tooth of Time, the blue water of Cimarroncito Reservoir, the panoramic sweep of the plains from Uraca Mesa, and sunlight filtering through the aspens along the rippling Rayado. The cool mountains harbor a wonderful wilderness of trees, shrubs, flowers, and grasses. Each expedition follows one of 35 itineraries, carefully planned and developed to avoid overcrowding and to enhance each crew's wilderness experience. Itineraries vary in difficulty and in the program features offered.
Right now we're just doing a service project. We're cutting down trees, but we're also on a 90-something mile hike.
These trees we're cutting down is to help with the meadow regeneration, because it's been taken over by these trees that you see everywhere. We've also been cutting down the shrubbery and anything else that isn't really like grass or meadow.
Crews hike Philmont's mountains and spend their nights at one of the ranch's 34 staffed backcountry camps, or 55 trail camps. Crews on the trail can participate in a variety of programs presented by the Philmont camp staff. Those programs include horseback riding, burro packing, gold panning, rock climbing, 30-06 rifle shooting, archaeology, mountain biking, and interpretive programs such as homesteading and Mountain Man Rendezvous.
Philmont's signature program is the High Adventure Expedition. Available every summer from early June to late August, each trek offers opportunities to explore the high country in the Sangre de Cristo Mountains of northern New Mexico. Experience the thrill of climbing mountains more than 2 miles high. Participate in a wide array of activities that teach scouting skills, including backpacking, camping, climbing, fishing, forestry, horsemanship, Indian lore, and much more. Develop skills in the areas of leadership, group dynamics, wilderness problem solving, and outdoor survival.
This is the archway that led into Philmont Base Camp. This is where we stayed for the first day once we got there, because we had to get all our gear assembled and have our paperwork filled out and do all the necessary introduction stuff before we hit the trail. Now, this picture shows the Tooth of Time mountain. This is the mountain that is seen from base camp and is the last mountain most treks that go out on Philmont come back in on. So it is basically the beginning and the end of most treks at Philmont, because we leave seeing it, but we come back over it and we come back into base camp. So out at Philmont, one of the activities is burro packing. So during our first 3 days on the trail, we were able to have the burro that is in the picture. We named it Hefe, and he accompanied us for 3 days while we were out on the trail and carried some food and stuff. It was just a fun experience. We got to lead him around. He was just an awesome person to have along. During this trek, we had the unfun experience of, while we were out there, we had a forest fire next to one of our base camps we were staying at. So this is the morning after the picture is showing, but that night when the forest fire was going on, we had to get up at 12 at night and hike until 4 in the morning trying to get away from this thing because it was going to overrun the camp that we were staying at, so we couldn't stay there. Out at Philmont, one of the most widely seen pieces of wildlife is the bear, and this is just showing how vicious the bears are out there. If you're not, if we had to take specific precautions to make sure the bears didn't come near us. This is the bear bag line where you hang your food up, and you can see where the bears actually tried to get at it and get the food down so that they could eat it. This is Baldy Mountain out at Philmont, and this is the highest mountain that is offered for hikers to climb, and we got the experience to climb all the way to the top, which is not often people are allowed to do that because there are so many factors that go into being able to climb it. But at the top, it's just a great view. It takes all day to climb to the top, so it is just a challenge, but it was a great challenge, and we enjoyed it. This is me and my dad at the summit of Baldy. We took a picture because it was just a great view up there. Up at the top of Baldy, you can hear planes flying over you because they are literally not much higher than that mountain is. That is why not normally people are allowed to climb up there. But it was just this fabulous scenery, and the top of it is all crushed rock because there used to be a mining operation coming out of this mountain. This was what it was like on the way down from Baldy because, like I said, the top of Baldy is all crushed rock. So basically on the way down is one of the most dangerous places at Philmont because so many people fall and sprain their ankles and stuff like that because it's all crushed rock. Basically what you have to do is you have to ski down. You have to go left to right because if you try going straight down, you will fall and you will get hurt, and it's not fun. This was one of the rare opportunities that we got to take a break out at Philmont, and in the picture I'm playing pine cone baseball with my Carl who's throwing it, because you don't really have many things out there because you're only allowed to take what you can carry, and you don't really want to be lugging too many things around, so basically you entertain yourself with what is out there because you're carrying 50-pound packs, and any addition on there is just not fun to lag around and it's just not worth it. One of the activities at the staff camps down there is the challenge course, and in this challenge course you do a bunch of teamwork activities, sort of like we did at orientation for Nichols. And during these activities you do things like you have one person be blindfolded, like in the picture, one person's blindfolded, the other person is the voice, and the other person is watching and trying to give you directions on which way to go. And then there's another activity in there that was most memorable is the wall, and you're trying to get the entire team to get over the wall, but you have to use only what's there, and you have to use teamwork to get up, and it was just a lot of fun, but it was extremely difficult because some of the class really required you to work as a group, because if you didn't work as a group, the entire thing fell apart. So it taught us that teamwork is essential when you're out there, because even if you have even the slightest problem, the plan will fall apart. You need to work as a seamless machine. Like I mentioned before, there are several forest fires that take out at Philmont. We got the chance to go through a zone that just recently reopened that was part of a forest fire in 2004, and this was the devastation that was left afterwards. It was an amazing journey through to look at what the forest fire leaves behind. It's not necessarily a happy thing to look at it, but it's just the power of what a forest fire can do is just amazing. The picture just does not describe the immensity of trees that were burned and destroyed around it. This goes on for miles. While we're out there, we don't have the benefits of having fresh food. We have to eat dehydrated food. So basically, it's food that is like cornflakes, which you add water and it sort of becomes food. Not food that anybody would like to eat on a normal basis, but it's food. And this is a picture of my Scoutmaster eating, I think it's macaroni and cheese, but it's not something I would like to eat on every day because it's kind of disgusting. But we have to eat it because it's lightweight and it was easy to go around. And while you're out there and you're starving, it's tastes pretty dang good. This was the only area out at Philmont that gets cell reception, which was weird. We weren't supposed to have cells out there, only the adults were able to have cells. So at this one moment, we're like 4 days out from leaving. So the adults gave us the opportunity to call home to our parents to tell them how we're doing, how it was going, which was really nice for us to see that there was family back home waiting to hear from us. And it was nice to get the opportunity. It got a lot of people that were feeling homesick or was just feeling uncomfortable to get the weight off their chest. It was just a really neat thing that we were able to do. Like I said, out there, you're not able to carry much with you because you have 50 pounds of essential gear that you're carrying with you. So they have places like this which are food drop-off and pickup points, so that on your trek you have like 3 places where you pick up 3 or 4 days worth of food and you take it with you, and then when you run out, there's another one of these planned on your trek so that when you stop at it you can pick up another 3 or 4 days worth of food. This is so that you're not carrying like your entire trek's worth of food with you, because you wouldn't be able to fit in your backpack and it would weigh like 20 pounds more and people wouldn't be able to even get their pack off the ground. Another activity that we were able to do while we were out there was gold. It was basically gold mining. It was a mine tour, essentially. And they took us into this abandoned mine shaft that was perfectly safe. But they took us in there and they explained how the people that were here before us used to mine, and the stalagmites that were in there and the minerals that were in there. And then when you get all the way to the end of the mine shaft, the tour guide that's leaving you through there slips out, and you're not allowed any flashlights in there. So you have to work as a team to get out in pitch dark, and it's just so much fun to go through that. It was just a fun experience, and at the end they scare you, and it was just a fun time. While we were out there, we climbed 8 of the highest mountains that were there. We only missed 2, but this was the summit of Mount Phillips. It has a bunch of flags up there to represent the flag raising in World War II, and it was just the sense of accomplishment after climbing these mountains was huge, because the view at the top was astounding. You can't match that anywhere in the eastern United States. It was just amazing. And the fact that we were able to do this was mind-boggling. During our last day on the trail, we got up at 12 in the morning to hike to Schaefer's Pass, to see the sunrise, because I did it the first time I went. This is my second time going to Philmont, so I did it before, but seeing it again is just the best sunrise you can ever see, because you can see miles around because you're on top of this tiny peak, and you can see full circle, panoramic, miles and miles out. You can see towns that are 20, 30, 40 miles away, and it's just amazing, and the sunrise is beautiful. I will never be able to see a sunrise like that. It was just amazing to be able to see. Pictures just don't do it justice. This is the final slide on my digital storybook, but this is me and my dad on top of the Tooth and Time, and like I said, the Tooth and Time is basically the beginning and the end of your trek, because you leave seeing it and you end up coming back over it. And this was our last mountain that we could climb before hiking into base camp, because the moment we left this peak, we ended up hiking 5 miles down into base camp, and the sense of accomplishment standing on top of this peak was like, it was the most amazing thing I could ever feel. It was me saying to myself, I overcame 100 miles of hiking for the second time. I did this twice. It was just, the sense of accomplishment was amazing. Graduating high school just narrowly beat it out. This was one of the greatest senses of accomplishment, and doing it with my dad was just even better. It was an amazing time.
Philmont means camping with your own unit, as well as meeting and sharing experiences with other crews from all over America and other countries. The experience provides an unequaled opportunity for fellowship and understanding, as well as for personal growth.
Part of being a scout is to be reverent, which means showing respect to God. And standing on top of that mountain peak, with the whole world out there, well, I've never felt so close to God ever before in my life.
This concludes my digital storybook, and during this entire storybook, I hope you got the feeling that this trip was once in a lifetime. This trip changed something inside me. I learned so much from this trip, and it was just a great experience. I will never forget the times I had in this high adventure base. It was just amazing. The activities I got to do, the things I saw, it was just amazing. I'll be telling these stories for years and years to come, and hopefully when I have kids, I'll be able to go with my son again like my dad was able to. It was just a great time, and I'll never forget it. And I just wanted to share all that with you. So I hope you got out as much as I did out of it. Thank you. Thanks for listening.